Mr. Park. I'm happy to come online live this afternoon, this very moment to talk to us. Here I'm live on Toys TV. Toys TV is an educating and informing channel where you get yourself thrilled with content that will make good impact to you. Now, this afternoon or this very moment, I'd like to air my view or my own opinion about marriage challenges. Some things that goes on in the social media currently about domestic violence, and we'll have hear all manner of stories happening in various homes, marriages crashing. The ones that started very well, before you know what is happening within a short period of time, it goes into the thing. It's like a story due to one reason or the other. Sometimes what baffles me most is that some of these reasons are reasons that doesn't hold water. They don't amount to anything reasonable, anything or cogent enough to be a reason why the marriage should crash or come to an end. But to our utter amazement, before you know what is happening, an institution, a marriage that started on a sweet tone, on a very beautiful arrangement and what have you, before you know it, it goes sour, and everybody is fed up, everybody is discouraged. And if you look at this whole thing, like I said, there are just some things that can just be overlooked. So before I go deeper or go straight to people I would like to be talking to about, I would first of all like to talk to my fellow men. Yes, before I talk to the ladies. But before then, I want to state this fact. For every marriage to work, both the man and the woman has important, huge, and significant roles to play individually. You as a man, you have your own role to play. You have what is required of you. As this video is tagged how to save your marriage. It's tagged how to save your marriage because so many marriages has already crashed. While some, as I make this live video, while some are already at the verge of crashing. Is that okay? So, and then this is also trying to let you know, or practically let you know what is required of you, what is expected of you as a man, as a woman in your marriage, in your relationship. For this, let me use the word relationship. Is that okay? So now, you see, like I said, let me talk about my fellow men first. As a man, whether we like it or not, there are things that we must not always do. Even when you feel as a man, you are the man, you have the muscle, you have the power, you have all that it takes to call the shots or to do things the way you want it to be done, and nobody should counter that or nobody should challenge that. Fine and good, yes, we are the head. That is the truth, that is a fact that cannot be displaced. So now, but let me tell you, when they say domestic violence, people always make reference to the man laying his hand on the woman, beating his wife, or beating your girlfriend, So those people who are into courtship or those who are dating, they are not totally left out of this discussion or out of this live video. So whatever we call it, whether it's a relationship in the form of marriage or a relationship in the form of courtship or dating, whatever, as long as it involves a man and a woman, you as a man, as long as it involves a man and a woman, you as a man have your boundaries, have your limits. There are things that you do or we do, some of us do, that are not called for, that are not necessary, that are not the best mechanism or the best way or the best approach to attend or to resolve certain issues or squabbles when they come up. Now, let me tell you this. Most of us, yes, will resort to using our muzzle, having the masculine nature as a man at the point of provocation. That's what you fall back to prove your madness, to prove that you are the head, to prove that you are really in charge. You use that means to bring the woman to order by beating, by laying your hands, and all of that. Yes, I may not want to talk about factors that are responsible for that. But on the periphery, some people, maybe the way they were brought up, what they saw their parents do, some people, peer group, what they see their colleagues, their friends do, they feel that is the best way. Before you know it, they follow suit. Some people, that's not the way they are brought up, but due to that's what they see, maybe they feel that is just the in thing. Before you know it, they adopt that as a method. But let me tell you, you see that your muscle, you see that your macho manness, you see all of that vigor, you see all of that strength you've gathered or that was given to you naturally based on your gender. You don't have to abuse it. You don't have to make wrong use of it. Now, the other gender, which is the woman, haven't got all of these muscles. Does not have the masculine body like you do. Does not have the macho man nature like you do. So let me tell you, that's your muscle, that's your macho manness, that's your whatever, that's your heavyweight championship or whatever I may call it. It's actually for you to protect the woman who is less privileged in this context. I hope you understand what I mean by that. Who is handicapped, who has not got this muscle. So that's your muscle, that looks you have or whatever, is actually for you to use it to protect, to use it when necessary, when situation calls for defense. For kids, for your wife, for your woman, for your girlfriend, for your sisters. When there's an outside force, when there's outside a body from the outside, from external, that has the type you carry, that wants to attack the one that is within your covering, the one that is within your protection, that is the best time, that is the time for you to do what? To express that your macho manness, to express that your madness, to make use of that your muscles and what have you. So for protection, for defense, let me say this, it's just like when somebody is given a position, you're privileged to occupy a position, and then you have your subordinates, or you have people who do not have such privilege, and then you use that your privilege, the things within your disposal, to do what? To oppress those who haven't got what you've got. Let me tell you, that is an abuse of authority. That is an abuse of privilege. That authority, that privilege that is given you is for you to utilize it positively, to cover loopholes, to cover challenges, to take care of situations when they arise, when they are necessary. So I want to tell you, my fellow man, who does live to do all manner of press up and what have you, and perhaps you think it's for you to now begin to use it against, to lay your hands on your wife, your sisters, the other people from the other gender. No. That is not what it is for. You don't need all of that. Is that okay? But then, I will not neglect the fact that I understand why some men resort or fall back to such solution or such option. And that will bring me to the point of talking to the women, the ladies. Let me tell us this. Please, first of all, before you start attacking me after this video, I would like you to make sure that you understand or you get the points that I'm trying to buttress here. Before you start attacking me, make sure that you understand properly the point. Also, bear in mind that I am equally entitled to my opinion. So, even if you think I'm talking nonsense, I'm talking trash, I know inside what I'm saying now, there must be something that is reasonable, that makes sense, that you can pick out of it. Peradventure also, it doesn't make sense to you, fine, you can just ignore the video, you can just walk over it, and then I know there are some people it might make sense to, so let the video be for them. Also, peradventure, you have anything you want to counter? Yes, we're free. You can drop your comments at the comment section, but let your comments, let your criticisms be constructive. We don't mean any insults to anyone. Let it not come with harsh words. Let it not mean any insults or things that are words that are obnoxious and offensive. You know what I'm trying to say. So now, talking about the ladies, or talking to the ladies, our mothers, our wives, our sisters, our daughters, I don't want to go so deep on how you people are at your nature. I'm not God. I don't want to go so deep in that aspect. But let me tell you this. Categorically, some of you are responsible for what you're witnessing today in your marriages on the negative side, even on the positive side also. Some of you are responsible. So what I'm trying to say, like I said earlier, if the marriage must work, if the marriage must be sweet, both individuals, if the relationship entirely must be sweet, both individuals has significant and important roles to play. Now, you as a woman, you as a lady, there are things, there are realities you must accept as a woman, as a lady, that even God, who lives in the third heavens, is not a fool for making it to be so. And to add to that, the society where we live in, where you and I have found ourselves in, has equally made it to be so. So, some of us who are feminists wish, some dreams you have, some wishes that you have, probably the thing going the other way around, the woman trying to assume herself as the head, or assume herself in the place of a man. No. It can't work. It doesn't work. I don't want to start quoting Bible, but confessionally, some of us who read Bible, or even if you don't read Bible, you must have in one way or the other, that you must be submissive to your husband. The man must love his wife. It's not circumstantial. There's no condition attached to it. And the Bible did not say, woman, reciprocate to your husband's love by submitting to him. No. Or man, reciprocate to your wife's submission by loving her. No. It's a demand. It's an instruction. So even if the other person is not doing it right, you have to do your own part. You have to play your own part. Not some people will come out in the social media and say, how can you love a woman who does not respect you? How can you love a woman who does not submit to you? Fine, we understand all of that. We are human beings. Psychologically, emotionally, we understand where you're coming from. But something cannot be neglected, which is the fact that it's not conditional. That since she now respects me, she now submits to me, and these are conditions. Because of that, I'm going to now play my own part. No. Or the outside of the woman, since this man loves me, since he now shows me love, because of that, he's going to earn my submission, my respect. Fine, we understand all of that. But then, the area will begin to understand that Bible did not give us conditions. That if he does this, you do this. If she does this, then this way you can do that. No. So Bible explains that everybody has to be at his or her own duty post at all times. What is your own duty post? Making sure, what is your own responsibility, your own obligation? Making sure that you're doing what? Submitting to the man. The man, what is your own responsibility? Making sure that you're loving your wife. These two factors, these two actions taking place simultaneously, without sarcasm, without eye service, without irony, without pretense, without anything that negates this, you have the marriage working out smoothly. You know why? Because everyone is playing his or her role perfectly. So now, going back to what I was saying, you as a woman, you've got mouth, you can talk. Some of you, not all of you, some of you do not even talk. Some of you ladies, you can run your mouth, you can talk. Now let me tell you why some men also resort to beating their wives, beating their women. Some of you ladies are responsible. I put it to you that some of you are responsible why such happens. So when you say domestic violence, please don't quote me wrong. Don't misunderstand my submission here. I am not saying that it's good for the man to beat his wife. No. I'm not saying that. I am not saying that it's a good option. I am not saying that. But try to look at the causal effects, the factors responsible for such actions that leads to what we call today domestic violence, which is occupying the social media space today, and in reality that is what is happening. So we're looking at how does these things come about? How did they originate? I'll give you an instance. You see, some men love their wife so much that from the starting they never wanted to lay their hand on their wife. They never wanted to turn into the kind of man they ended up turning into, a woman beater. Is that okay? Now, some men took such a decision even before they got into the relationship, went into the relationship, and when the relationship was on. Some men took that decision that they were not going to lay their hands on their wife. But now, let me tell you this. A good number of you, the ladies, so many of you, the women, do what? You respect more, you submit more to the man, you submit more to the man who puts fear on you, to the man who holds you, grabs you, and uses his muscle and feels like wanting to strangle you. The man who punches you at a slightest offense. The man who is so aggressive, the man who is so mean, the man who does not play with you, or who plays with you seasonally and occasionally, the man who does not, come down to your level or stoop so low, if I must use that word. I'm using that word because of what the society is all about. So nothing like stooping so low for marriage, for man and woman. There shouldn't be anything. So try to understand what I mean by using that word. So a man who tries to, be on the same page with you. So many of you ladies have ended up abusing that privilege. So many of you ladies have ended up getting it wrong. So those ones, such men who are so soft-minded, who are so easygoing by choice, they chose to. Not that they don't know how to beat, not that they cannot beat, but this is the decision, this is the choice they made. So many of you ladies have abused that decision, that choice they made. By doing what? By always, being arrogant, by always being disobedient, by always telling the man you are not a man, both in words and both in action, by always making the man feel like he has made the wrong decision. You even do comparisons, You see some ladies who like, that man know they laugh. They take nonsense. I mean a woman in a marriage where her husband takes the so-called nonsense, where the husband does the so-called laughing, where the husband is that type that is soft and easygoing, and then you hear things like, that lady's husband, they do this one, fine and good. That is what you want. That is the kind of it. So now, what I'm trying to say is this: that what you have that you're staying with, who they take nonsense, who they laugh and all of that. Please, don't because he takes nonsense, don't because he laughs, don't because he chose to be easygoing, don't because he is not a woman beater, and then begin to, at any little thing, you can't do anything. You take it like, if you're a man, touch me now. If you think you're a man, if you try it, I will show you. I don't want to, all those manner of things, So, what am I trying to say? You see, some men, at that point, they may lose it. Let me use the street language. They may lose guard. Let me use the street. They will just, some men will do what? They will lose guard. And when they lose guard, what happens? Boza. Me, you, Boza. Before you know it, domestic violence has done what? Set in. And believe you me, if such happens for the very first time, there's a high tendency that is going to continue that way. It will only take the mercy of God, and it will take only a level of, how do I put it, an extraordinary level of discipline from the man's side to stop that. It's just like somebody who has not killed somebody before. One day, you carry a knife or you carry a gun, you kill somebody. You don't shed blood. If care is not taken, killing will become something common. Gradually, something you're not used to, you try it for the very first time, before you know it, and then there's a high tendency for that thing to become a norm because it has been commonized. The way you are phobic or phobia to it, the way you're phobic, the way you take it, the way you how you held onto that thing before is no longer the way you see it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't hold water anymore for you. So it's no longer, it doesn't count anymore. It's now an in thing, it's a normal thing. So what am I trying to say? You ladies, some of you ladies, not all of you, some of you ladies are responsible for some of the domestic violence you have in your marriage. Listen, I equally know that there are some men that you can't actually please them. No matter how you try to be submissive to them, excuse me. Alright, I also know that some men, no matter how you try to please them, no matter how you try to be submissive to them, no matter how you try to play your own parts adequately or properly to make sure that it's working out, they will end up being the monster they've chosen to be. I call them monster. So watch it. I'm not in any way promoting that. I'm not in any way encouraging that. I'm not in any way settling for the option of you beating your wife. No. So I've talked about the men. I'm talking about the women. So, but you see some ladies who have really understood this point I'm trying to portray here. They capitalize on this to build their marriage. They tell themselves the truth. They accept the truth that they have to be under the man. And they carry themselves in that manner. And let me shock you. Do you know that such women who have this understanding and bring themselves under their husband, do you know that if you logically analyze their marriage, you see that they actually rule the marriage, they actually control the man, they are actually in charge of the marriage. Why? Is because it's a secret. It may not be easy, but make your research, find out that some people around you is working for them. Some ladies, your fellow ladies, that is the secret, and it's working for them. You might think some people use jazz, some people, it's simply because the woman does not at any time present herself in a way that the husband would perceive her to be challenging his place or his position as a husband. The woman will always carry herself as a wife who is supposed to be under the man that she is supposed to be. And the man, it will make the man to lose guard. It will make the man to, the man will even come out, the man will not even have time to begin to express, that man is only when there's a tussle. It's only when there's a tussle, there's a combat, there's a confrontation. It's natural with human beings. You don't come and start challenging who is not challenging you. So challenges comes when the woman is challenging the place of the man. The challenge comes when the man is challenging the place of the woman. So when everybody is minding his place, his opposition, there's no need for any tussle, there's no need for any challenge. It's as truthful, it's as natural. And if you understand what I've just said now, that's just the truth. If I'm in a place and I want to exercise authority, most of the time it's because people within that environment, they need it, they are calling for it. if everywhere is cool, everybody is doing what he or she is supposed to do, there won't be need for anybody to come and start exercising authority. It's not necessary. Nothing calls for it. So what I'm trying to say, most of the time, not all the time, most of the time, men try to resort to beating or try to exercise certain authorities. In quotes, find out is always when their place has been challenged, and in a very arrogant way that will make the man to react, try to hold his ego, try to not to lose guard, as a man. And based on what has entered the woman's head, the woman may not be sensitive enough that this is where it is going to land all of us into. Yes, when it crashes, both the man and the woman suffers. And that is the next thing I want to be talking about. It's a fact that we must know. So for you ladies, I want to give you an advice. I have a wife, I have daughters who are going to grow up and get married. I have also sisters. I have friends, female friends, who I mean well for. So what I'm trying to say now is just an advice. Excuse me. It's just an advice for our female folks. There is a truth, there is a fact we cannot do without. What is that? Then some people will come and say especially the feminists, they will come and try to, tell you that you make your money, you can do without the man, and stuff like that. Yes, they might be right, but to an extent, there are things you must be ready to bear. When you have resolved that you want to do without a man. Please, I am not saying that you must die in your marriage. I am not saying that when the man is being a complete monster, when the man is being completely unreasonable and irresponsible, that you have to kill yourself in the marriage. I am not saying that. Look for solutions around your problem. At that point, there must be a way out, maybe via consultations or taking a decision that will end the situation at the moment or for a while. So I repeat, I am not encouraging the man beating the woman. No, I am not encouraging that. Now, going back to what I was saying, there's a fact we cannot do without. When marriage crashes, as long as this life is concerned, as long as Africa is concerned, I'm talking to you from Nigeria, as long as Nigeria is concerned, I'm an Igbo person, I'm an Igbo man, as long as Igbo culture is concerned, as long as our society is concerned, in Igbo land, in Nigeria as a whole, in Africa, anywhere in the world, as long as what the society gives is what we're living with, some of us made it the way it is, there's nothing we can do about it. It's a fact we must accept. And the earlier we allow this to sink into our heads, the ladies, the better for us. What am I trying to say? When a marriage crashes, when a relationship crashes, it has a more negative impact on the lady. That is a fact, that is a truth. That cannot be hidden under the carpet or swept under the carpet, that cannot be romanced, that cannot be sugar-coated. No, it's a naked truth. From experience, you can see some people using your head, you can analyze, you can envisage, you can do some analysis and see what Sorry for that break. So you see, for the marriage to work, like I said earlier, everybody must play their role. And now when it crashes, as I was saying, the negative effects, the impact, the shock is more disastrous, is more ravaging of the woman. So like I said, it was a mother that female kids. I have sisters, I have friends, female folks who I also wish or mean well to. So now, as long as the society has made it so, which even we the ladies has even contributed to it significantly, there is nothing we can do. So you see, anybody to preach to you, all those feminists coming to confuse you that you can do without the man, get the point to please, that you can do without the man, that you must not, this thing called marriage, you must not be. My dear, fine, when you leave the marriage, when you quit, it's not easy. I will even tell you, even those who did not even marry at all, some of them is not their fault. So we're not trying to laugh at anybody or blame anybody. No, they don't even find it easy. However you look at it, let's take for instance, you get married and then you have a child for the man, or one or two, and then something happens along the line, their marriage crashes. Who lives whose home? House. Where probably, if the father is still alive, even the parents will not be happy that the parents will not even be happy that their daughter came back home. It's not a good news, especially in this our own part of the world. And that man might live and die sometime, the father. Likewise, between you and your niece and nephews, that is your brother's children. So if dehumanization, if insults, biological or your direct siblings, it will definitely come from your niece, brothers, wives, who are your fellow women. You see, still women, and they are just, people are still, some of you are still the cause of the problems of your problems. You hear stories of a woman that left her husband's place. Maybe she left in good faith. Looking at the story, it was very, very justifiable for her to go back home. You mean it's just a matter of time. The people that will start, I mean, a situation where the lady in question is well behaved. The people that will start giving a problem are still your fellow women who were married by your brothers. That's your sister-in-laws. Though sometimes the lady who comes back to father's house before you got married, that some fellow women has come in as wives. So you need to understand there are boundaries now, there are limitations. So some ladies will not understand about, I mean, all things being equal. On most cases, if it's not even your brothers that will start attacking you. It's sorry about network challenge. So you see that it still will be your fellow women, brothers' wives, who will also forget that they too can be in same. Let me tell you this. when a man has problem and his wife goes, or the man abandon his treatment, you can never compare it to the kind of treatment the woman will be receiving from where when she goes back to the same house where she came out from. And on the side of the man, the brothers will even start making arrangement for another woman. It's even the sisters, your fellow ladies, that will even carry it on you. Some of you have is very, very, trying to, it's not much to ensure that their brother's wife comes back to their brother's life. Some of them will try, some ladies will try, but they don't put much effort. Before you know what's happening, they will give up and then begin to, after a while, they will begin to suggest another woman to you for their brother. But you as a woman own house, the reverse the case. The experience you have is a different altogether. That is number one. Another example is the children that you gave birth to. When the children grows up, if you're no longer in that man's house, if you're no longer in that marriage, where the children grows, where the man comes from. Especially in this part of the world, in this our own part of the world, the children come from where they're writing their state of origin, where they will finally end up, where they will do anything at all. Where they come from. They come from the man's place, not your place. Your place as a woman is their maternal home, village, and what have you. Come back to their father's house, and they will end up coming to visit you. You enjoying that, your kids will not be on visitation. The place the children will call their home is their father's place. No matter how they love you, yes, they might end up spending more time with you, but their home is their father's place. Yes, and that's why you see later some children will grow up. They will now begin to, because they are now adults, they will now use their position in the family or their age, or they are trying to enforce his father's house. I know how it used to be. If the man come back, you're only going to stay under just to be here the name that you are in a man's house, you are no longer in your father's house. That's always the scenario. And I'm you again from the beginning. I'm sure that's not you want. That's not what you want for herself. Yes, circumstances are caused some point who did not actually do what they were supposed to do, and then it turns out to be this way. They are the people that I'm referring to. Let me also tell you. So when as a woman you know your husband's home in the society, in your working place. So when I say the effects, the societal effects, that's what I'm referring to now. Even in the church, if you're a Christian, if you're a Muslim, even in the Islamic sect or congregation, you become a topic. There are certain privileges, there are certain things that will be denied of you. There are certain positions that you can never attain, that can never be given to you. Even if it's given to you blatantly, it will attract so much murmur. It will attract so much grumbling and complaints from people. And you know, most of the people, your fellow women. Your fellow women, that's even the funniest thing about it. It's always your fellow women who will end up making mockery of the woman, forgetting that they are also women, that they can equally be in the same shoes, that they can equally be in the same shoes with you. They can equally find themselves in the same position where you have landed. So the church, the society, your working place, and all manner where you live, there's a way people will begin to look at you. There's a way people will begin to relate with you. So that's why I say, until the society, we are still the ones responsible for this whole psychological trauma. We are still the ones responsible for this whole psychological quagmire that the individual goes through, the individual woman goes through. Now let me tell you this also. There are so many things to say on this particular topic, on this particular area that I'm dealing with. When you leave the marriage, the man, whether with childbirth or no issue, I'm talking from, I wouldn't say experience, no. My marriage is still intact by the special grace of God, not by my own power. So I wouldn't say from experience. When I say experience here, I mean from witnesses, friends, some people that I've seen, from stories that I have heard, some people that I've seen. When you listen to them, listen to the woman and listen to the man. You see, and also when you see them currently, when they parted ways, and when you see them years after, months after, who is the thing telling more on? Yes, there's some ladies, very few, that when they left their marriage, they were very lucky. But many are not always fortunate. Many are not always lucky. So don't assume because somebody's wife, one governor or one politician or one business mogul, the wife left him or her, and then before you know she met another man there, or one pastor, all those kind of stories. You are not that woman. You are you. You are just you. Deal with yourself by yourself. Your case is different. Ladies, you do a lot of comparison. What I was trying to say, let me tell you this. When a marriage is broken, let's say the man is in his 60s, at any age, in his 60s or his 70s, and the woman was already in her 40s or 50s. It's always difficult for that woman to remarry. There's every tendency that woman will be living in dilemma. I'm going to get the best adjective to describe what I want to say. Psychologically, that woman will be draining. No matter how much you think you have, no matter what achievements you're making, some women in the category of what I'm sharing, we're not condemning you. I am not condemning you. Life is full of experience. So for me, I say that this is the experience you are having. But what matters is, what do you make out of it? What efforts are you making to realize certain things and put them in place and put them under checks or put them in check? So when the man is in his 60s, 70s, even 80s, 50s, 40s, the man can easily, I repeat, did you hear me? The man can easily remarry. The man can easily pick up another woman, your fellow woman, and marry. And do you know what happens at times? Sorry to say this, some of you ladies are fools. Sorry for that word. I'm only trying to make a point. Do you know why I use that word? You will hear or you see situations where a woman left her marriage. Guess who replaces her? Do you know who replaces her? Her best friend, her fellow woman, sometimes her close friend, sometimes her special advisor friend, female friend. Is the person that took her place. Is it not laughable? Use your head. Use your head. We are not saying that you should stay in your marriage and tolerate everything and tolerate every nonsense. We are not saying that you should stay in your marriage and be taking every shit. No, but use your head. There are ways to control a man as a woman. There are ways to make a man your own. I'm not a woman. There are certain things our mother has taught us. You see, submission, respect wins a man's heart. People are saying it, everybody, you're not hearing it from me for the very first time, you've been hearing it. I'm only adding a voice to it. You see, respect, submission. When you don't tamper with a man's ego, it goes a long way to win the man's heart. You see, food, you give your husband food well. I'm coming to the other type of food. I mean food, edible, swallow. The one you eat with spoon or fork. Food, edible ones. Very, very important in a man's life. But that is even by the way. Then sex. If your husband, I won't say this without mentioning sex. If your husband is the type that loves sex, and I'm yet to see the man who does not like that. I'm yet to see the man who does not flow with that. I'm yet to see the man who you will bring it to, and he will say, I don't want. Yeah, sometimes you might not be in the mood, but it's different. Being in the mood is different. But so what I'm going to say, you can imagine this thing that you'll be staying with, and somebody will still go outside to still go looking for that something that will stay with you. You know, it means that it's a special thing to this gender called men. It's one of their favorites. So you don't joke with it. If you must keep your man, educate yourself on, have some, how do I put it? Educate yourself on sexual tricks, activities, and gimmicks, and spoil the man. Most importantly, when you don't tamper with the man's ego, when you make the man to feel like he's always the king over you, when you allow the man to feel like he's the man. Of course, when you give the impression that you're challenging someone, how do you expect that person to, protect you? So some women who has realized some of this I'm talking about, they always give their men that space. Even men is not convenient for them because they know the resultant effects. They treat with caution. They know when to stop. They know their limits. They know when to press harder on the man. They know when to go soft. So you see these three things: food, submission, respect, not playing with the man's ego, and then sex. There are other ones, but you see this three. In my opinion, you see this three. Don't joke with them. It's not about, these things are not about whether the man has money, or not, whether the man is tall or short, whether the man is handsome or not. All those things are badadash. You think your husband is not handsome. That one you think is handsome that you want to go and meet. Do you know what you're going to face when you go there? Your husband is not short, he's tall. And that one that you think is short, that you still prefer it. Didn't you see all these things before you got married to the man? You as a man, didn't you see all these things before you got married to the woman? This one I'm talking to the both genders, both my fellow men and the woman. So all those comparisons, let's throw those things into the trash. We're in this together, and we must sort it out together. So the thing is, what must I do to make these things work? And what are the do's? What are the things you must do? I've highlighted some of them if you were picking the points. If you know how to give the man his place as a man, give him his place as a man. My dear lady, both young and old, forget it, you have won that man's heart. In fact, that man is like a toy in your hands. You just be remoting him unknowingly to him. Just once in a while he will realize that this woman is actually toying with my madness. Some of you ladies have only understood what I'm saying here. Thumbs up for you. You're unique. You know what I'm talking about. You know how to be in charge. You know how to even control the man. That thing will call madness. That thing will deform. That thing will deform, will they feel. Becomes insignificant. Becomes so unnoticeable. Why? Because of the kind of woman in question. So I implore you, other kind of ladies, to borrow a leaf. Calm down. Learn. Pay attention. Try to understudy other people, other successful marriages. When you go out, when you're in a public place, you are not there to live, to do things so loud. Life is not about experience, and every day we keep on learning. There's one Chinese adage that says, it's a popular adage that says, the day you stop learning is the day you start dying. So we learn every day, in every facet of life. As long as you expose yourself to so many things, you do what? You pick the good ones. The ones that are worthy of emulation, you pick them. Make them part of you. Try to have those things to be inculcated and embedded inside of you. And before you begin to produce results that you and only you will enjoy. You know what? You live to enjoy your marriage. So what I was saying, the man at that age will easily do what? The marry. Pick another woman. Sometimes even a younger person. The man has choices. But you as a lady, is either you use your money to buy a man, and you know how it is, or you become Keziah. Sorry to say that, but that's the truth. You become so vulnerable. You become so approachable. You become so open that every man will want to sleep with you, and not for good intention, just to have you and take a walk. Every man that even wants to sleep with you has already condemned you even before wanting to sleep with you. Just like every man that wants to sleep with you has already judged you, in the sense that who knows why, speculations, mere suspicions. Who knows why she left her marriage? Who knows why she didn't last in her marriage? All this. Who knows why? Before you know it, somebody has taken a decision. And sometimes you may not even have a chance to share your own story or to tell your own part of the story for somebody to listen to you and then believe you. So what I'm trying to say here, what is the advice? Considering the aftermath of parting or leaving your marriage, the consequences, what it brings thereafter, it's always advisable that you work hard I use the word. Work hard. Every marriage is not a bed of roses. A bed of roses. Every marriage is not very rosy. Even for the marriage to be rosy and sweet and enjoyable, we work it out collectively. So, for you to be able not to find yourself in this kind of circumstance, you work hard, knowing fully well, should this happen, it will affect me most. It will also affect the man. No? I'm not saying that the man does not have anything to lose. The man has a lot to lose. Everybody loses something. But when you juxtapose, when you equate it, when you analyze it, when you weigh it, you see that the woman, I repeat, the woman loses more. Age will no longer be in the favor of the woman. You may end up not marrying again, but as the man has married, even started getting children again. If you had only one or two, that's all you have got to know. The man will marry another person and start getting children again, as long as he's still fertile, as long as he's still agile and he can fertilize. So the woman you begin to look for, you don't even have any other option. Let me use that word. Sorry to say that, but let's not pretend about it. Some of us want to pretend and you want to form a feminist. I can do without you. Someone can come out and say, I can buy any man of my choice. I don't want to mention anybody's name. I can buy anyone. I'm not going to why your marriage didn't work. That is not the essence of this discussion. What I'm saying is on the general basis. So there are a lot of women who will come and mislead their fellow women because of their own experience they had. My dear young lady, my dear old lady or whatever, you are not the other woman. Deal with yourself as yourself. Respond to yourself based on what you know, the knowledge you have about yourself, not always on the knowledge you have about some other person or some other people. So now I want to end on this note. My fellow men, having said all of this, peradventure you watch this live video or you're watching me right now, all of this I've said, or the ending part of my discussion, does not mean that you as a man, because you know that should things go wrong, you have nothing to lose. Because you know, if my wife goes away, I can always go. Or because you know I can always end this marriage and I can always pick another woman, I can always remarry, I can always do anything I want. I will tell you that is wrong of you. That's an abuse of position. That's an abuse of privilege. That's an abuse of what? Authority. Yes, this thing is at your disposal. It does not mean that you now begin to use it against the other person who is not as privileged as you are. It's an abuse. Any man who lives on that mindset, any man who dwells on that mentality, any man who gives his wife or his woman that impression is a monster. He's a wicked man. Any man who lives in that full knowledge and carries himself with that knowledge that I can always, remind the person that I can always do without her, the woman, and that will make the woman to begin to feel unsafe. Men, we understand, we have our own faults, and that will begin to make the woman feel this marriage is not very sure because of certain things you do or say at times based on the fact sometimes it's the fault of what the woman did, or you are trying to express your freedomness, if there's any word like that. You are trying to express your freedomness, I repeat, you are trying to express that your madness, that you're on top of the world, you can do anything you like, anything. Should anything happen, that you are not going to be the bigger loser. And because of that, you now want to begin to trample on the other gender. Let me tell you, what goes around comes around. They say the evil men do. It does no longer live after them, it now lives with them. In our own dispensation, it even plays back. So when you're having that mindset and you now begin to use it against the woman, the woman will now begin to feel intimidated, begin to feel inferior, begin to feel unsafe, begin to feel unprotected. Let me tell you, my brother, whoever you are, our fathers, we are doing the wrong thing. That is not right. You have to give the woman hope. You have to make the woman feel safe. They say every organization rises and falls on the shoulders of leadership. Every home, as you are a leader, if it crashes, it's your fault. If it works out well, the accolade, the thumbs up, goes to you. Before you talk about any other person. So, as a man, you don't abuse that your place. You don't abuse that your privilege as a man. Because even at 70, even at 80, you have your money, you can pick any woman of your choice, you can remarry and stuff like that. Those things are bullshit. Those are barbarish. When you go and marry another woman, don't misunderstand what I want to say. There's always, however want to pretend about it, there's a tendency of, when you have a polygamous home, there's a tendency of troubles always being there. That's the truth. I'm not talking about anybody. Some people went into polygamy unplanned. So we're not blaming them, we're not condemning them. It's their life. Nobody has a right to condemn anybody or whatever. So we're not blaming them. I'm not here to be a jury on that, to judge. No, I'm not judging. But as a man, when the woman leaves you, there are certain things that equally leaves you. There are certain things that also affects you negatively. So don't think you don't have anything to lose. Especially when the woman is a good woman. And the woman left in tears. The woman left because you hurt her. The woman left because of your own faults, because of your own wrongs, because of your own maltreatments. My brother, you will not go free. Don't think one way or the other, you might still making your money, you might still be one way or the other, something you get a payback. Especially when the woman carries favor. Especially when the woman is a real woman, you know what I mean, women, you know what I mean, guys. When the woman is really a wife, you know what I mean. And her leaving the marriage or the marriage shattering is as a result of your own faults. Because you are so egocentric, you are so full of yourself as a man and what have you. These things always has a way to boomerang. It boomerangs. There's always a day of reckoning. So, for us, the men, don't take it like I said, I talked about women, and you think it's just women, they have a lot to lose. Yeah, that's the truth. You too have something to lose. You're also a failure. I can look at you in your face anytime and tell you that you're a failure. God forbid. Should my marriage fail tomorrow, I'm a failure. God forbid. It's not my portion. I don't pray for that. I don't wish that. I wish my marriage will be sweet. My children will even my daughters would like to marry a man like me. That is my goal. That's my vision. I want my sons to even want to marry a wife like their mother, or even better. That's what I want. Home, sweet home. You see that kind of atmosphere. So when it's no longer going that way and you lose it, I don't think it's only the man that only the woman that has something to lose. The man equally has a lot to lose. So on that note, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. person, Amadi Prince, aka Mr. Park. It's my pleasure to, share this my opinion with you. That you are going to be able to pick one thing or the other that is meaningful. Please, the ones that you feel are not meaningful, I'm sorry, ignore them. Is that okay? We don't mean any offense. If by the virtue of my speech you have been offended in any way, please, sorry about that. Okay? Peace at all times. So feel free to share the video, comments at the comment section. Feel free to like the channel, the discussion, this live video on the channel Toys TV, and then expect also more good content like this, also with other people to discuss some issues like this that are very, very important in our present time. Once more, thank you for watching and God bless you. I love you.